women through the eyes of men? Well, actually, to a large extent, it really depends on who you're talking to. If you talk to a man who grew up in an abusive home with women who have abused him, he would think women are abusive. If you talk to a man who grew up in a loving home with loving women around him, he would think that women are loving and kind. If you talk to a man who has grown up in a home where women were high achievers, he would think that women are capable of achieving anything and everything. Then, of course, you have men who, regardless of wherever they've grown up, they just view women as products and entities that can be used and abused. So it really depends on who you're talking to. But then let's think about history, or let's go back in history and look at how different philosophers viewed women. You have Plato, who was very much ahead of his time. He felt that women are capable of achieving anything given enough encouragement. They are on par with men. And they can be, he called them philosopher queens. He also said that women can be or should be included into the guardian class, which is basically rulers and thinkers of his time. But then you have his student Aristotle, who didn't feel the same. He felt women are inferior, both physically and intellectually, and that they are very emotional and lacked rational capabilities. And so he felt women are inferior to men. Then let's come to the Enlightenment period. We have Jean Jacques Rousseau. He felt that women, again, much like Aristotle, are inferior and their role should be limited to domestic life. And they shouldn't strive after the things that men strive after, and they should limit themselves to their homes. Of course, there were many other Enlightenment thinkers who agreed with him, and there were also many Enlightenment thinkers who disagreed with him. Then let's come closer to home now with someone like Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen, of course, felt that women are capable of achieving anything if only society and the societal structures were in place to encourage women to achieve their full capability. They can go ahead and do and achieve brilliant things. They can be thinkers. They can be business people. Women are basically capable of achieving exactly the same things as men, only if the societal structures are in place for them to do that. But in one way, if you think about it, who cares what men think about women? What matters is what women think about themselves and what God thinks about women. Now, you have Martha Nussbaum, another philosopher, a person who worked very closely with Amartya Sen. Again, very much like Amartya Sen, she felt if society worked in a certain way and made certain things available, or they could, women could achieve their full capabilities. Um, you have Pandita Ramabai, a Christian freedom fighter in India who fought for India's freedom, but also worked towards uplifting women. And through her institution, many women were given a second chance and also went out to achieve great many things. Now, different religions also view women in very many different ways. But in Christianity, women are viewed especially. We have Mary, who is given high priority and high status within Christianity. Even Joseph, though finding out about Mary's pregnancy, didn't embarrass her publicly, but sort of tried to silently or quietly distance himself from her. Then you have Jesus, the central figure in Christianity, who views women in a very special way. And one example that comes to me is the woman he meets, the Samaritan woman he meets at the well. Now, this woman has been viewed by many men in many different ways. Predominantly, men have viewed her as an outcome of their lust. And so that's the gaze that perhaps she has been most often accustomed to. Or perhaps men who have always seen her as inferior, as immoral. And so that's another gaze that perhaps she was most used to. But then now she encounters Jesus. And for the first time, perhaps she's encountering a gaze that's very different, a gaze that tells her that she is much more than what she thinks she is, and much more than what others think she is. Now, that's the gaze of Jesus, her creator in that sense. The person who created her is now encountering her, and that's a very special gaze, a gaze that says that you are much more than what your environment has to say about you. You are much more than what you have to say about yourself. You have been created in the image of God, which means that you are capable of achieving anything. And to that woman, Jesus offers life giving water. And when she had encountered that gaze, her whole life is transformed. She goes out and she wants everyone else to encounter Jesus's gaze so that their lives can also be transformed. So I think from that, what we can learn is that whoever you are, you can be transformed by that gaze. And when you are transformed by that gaze, you are now keen to go out into the world and transform everyone else because of that gaze that you have encountered, that divine gaze. So I'd encourage you to encounter that divine gaze and allow your life to be transformed. In the meanwhile, if you can think of women that have impacted your life, perhaps you can comment in this video below, and we can all be encouraged by that. So thank you very much.